Against the endless erosion, my strength grew weaker by the day.
True power dwells within the spirit. Try to embrace all that you are.
All right. Hello, guys, ladies and gentlemen. I think we are back again as for the long-awaited grand finals of the Winter Showdown Series 1. And here we are on to the finals. This is going to be a best of 5, by the way. And of course, the two teams that have managed to bring out to come today up to the very last to make their last fighting chances to get the champion title. It's gonna be Leave Esports going against Zohunt in this best of 5 series, and of course we already can see that the draft is already set in. But first of all, let us introduce ourselves. We are gonna have our casters today, and gonna be joined by Sarah, of course, and we will directly head into the drafting phase here.
Well, hello and good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen, because this is Leaf Esports who actually managed to defeat Team Peak into the semis and are right now facing Team Zohan. Zohan has been pretty much undefeated so far into the championship, except for a few throws that they pulled off thanks to their own skills. But tonight, I hope that they will be avoiding those kind of mistakes. For now, into the draft, we can see the Farsa, Freya, and Hilda bands. And for now, we can see the Sora, Jushin, and the Carry bands inside of Zohan. So we'll have to see what the first pick could be. There could be a Rock pick coming in pretty easily, and that's just one of the standard roamers being picked up by all of the teams. Like we could see an Eve as well. But I feel like the Grok is just a much more safer pick here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ilu might have just picked up the lead here until the later part, at least third phase. Not the third phase, the third pick for the lead to. That's why they are so willing to let go of the Grok. But one thing about Johan is that they do have the Kadita that's completely left open, because we talked about the Kadita because it's midday and is very, very focused onto the Kadita if he wants to play into the early stages of the game. But you know, one thing, okay, there we go. That's the Kadita and Leomord for Blade here. One thing I'm pretty sure about these two teams is that they do understand what to ban, because Hilda and Freya is such a no-brainer ban against Johan.
Exactly. I mean, just like Kalida and Leomord, it's just two so standard picks into the jungle and mid for them. Team Leafys will should have seen it coming though. But Ariza onto that Fredrin, he has been spamming that quite a lot. Maybe we see the Arlot once again coming in from SAR. That's a
Oh,
possibility. He had it banned in only one of the games, but so far he has been spamming it away as much as he possibly can. Onto the yeah.
wow.
Oh no. Okay, that's something new. That's gonna be an
Yeah.
Alice.
Very early Alice, by the way, and you usually see an Alice into the later part of the drafting phase, not this early on. But still, I was gonna talk about the Yuzong here, right? Because for picking up the Alice, it kind of stopped the Yuzong to come through. But Johan, they doesn't really care. They're just gonna be picking up the Yuzong against the Alice. It could be a no case pick into the team fight, but I'm pretty sure into the later part of the game, he might eventually struggle out. But for the side of Johan here, they should bend away another marksman, see if they want to. The CC can come true as well, but wait, they also need a marksman for themselves, right? They have the Harriets and the Claude that can still be valid.
Exactly. So they do need a marksman. I think since the carry has been taken out already, that only leaves the Claude as an option to melt down the Fredrin Alice as well as the Grok. That's a bit of a risk I'm seeing there. And if they decide to go in for the Esmeralda towards their gold lane. That's gonna make things even harder. Even the CC would work out so well on the gold side. Even
Yeah.
the Lapu could work out. I think
Wow.
yeah, see, they take away the Claude, maybe
Yeah.
they take away the Harith or the Moscow up
Yeah.
next. So what is Prime gonna be left with to counter that kind of a drop? A Beatrix doesn't work, a
No.
Mia doesn't work, obviously.
Yeah.
So what exactly is going to be melting down those frontliners?
I'm pretty unsure what Prime has is in his packets. The Granger is the only option he could go for. But then again, like you said, Granger is not really the best case scenario in this one. Full tanky lineup, they need a Shredder, and I'm pretty sure Leaf might eventually ban out the CC or the Harris, so he can choose to either one from that. And the fact that for Leaf they still ban away the Cloud, even though they have the at least already is a mad respect for this hero in particular. Wow. Okay, Johan.
Wow.
They
Okay.
okay. This is fight of goal laners now, Sarah.
Literally a goal lane war coming in this game. What is Cloberian gonna ban? Is he gonna ban out the Moscow as well? Take out any oh no, okay. Finally a non-goal lane ban. That's gonna be
There we go.
Minotaur. Oh no, that's gonna be an instant Ranger lock. But can he melt down all those people? That's gonna be the question. He does have the Leomord and the Yuzhong in front of him, but the amount of dive potential and the amount of sustain that I believe esports have. Imagine they go in for something like a Uranus into the goal lane.
Yeah.
Then Prime is gonna be like, who am I supposed to kill? Everyone's just gonna be jumping on me.
Yeah, and he have too much. He's gonna have too much on his plate too. And I haven't seen any bursty composition. I mean, not that anyone squishy yet for the side of Leaf that can be deleted instantly by mid lane here. And I do know that they're gonna be needing out the Kimi, but double marksman. Okay, there we go. This is much better here. The
Oh,
Lunox have chance of
far better.
survivability.
Yes.
Yeah, especially against the Kadita, right? But I am pretty much unsure about Claverian's pick here. Moskov could have worked. Of course, it's going to be struggling just a little bit. But then again, the Bruno, I think they just want to neutralize onto this gold lane now. So it means that they just want to go into the later part of the game where they can farm up. But now, should this be a Khalid?
It is a possibility. I feel like the Khalid should be a very valid choice against the Lunox and the Bruno and the Grok as well. Um, hmm.
But it's
So,
Ilu, right?
yeah, it's Ilu. So Khalid is not that much of his classic choice.
Yeah.
Garot Gacha?
Okay.
I
This
mean,
is
it
more
works
him
out.
now.
Yeah, that's more him. That's works out better and everything. And it's better to catch the Lunox and the Bruno as well because they're on the purified sea.
The thing that I would prefer the Khalid, the reason why I would prefer the Khalid here instead of the Gatot is that the Lunox, right, and the Elise is gonna have to struggle against these two in particular. He's not gonna be having the best time of his life with the Gatot Gacha here because at least for the Khalid he do have a little bit of mobility where he can escape and a survivability as well. So this kind of makes sense here. Now they wanna go for for an initiation for the dragon and then a re-engagement from the AOGs if they plan their cards right. But then again, two purifies onto the side of Leaf Esports here. They are very ready to try to stop anyone from going against him. And the purifies and met respect for the Kadita, which is a very independent match. I'm pretty sure they can find some ways to try to set down to the early stages of the game because from the clearance so far, I think the Grot will be able to help into the early stages. But the thing is, he's not on the concussive blast, so they need to equalize on that mid part.
Definitely need to equalize the mid side. We're going to see a early game minion freeze, which he actually missed unseen again. Second time he's making
Again.
a mistake. But it's okay, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the land of Dawn. We are going to be seeing two amazing teams who have made their way into the
Wow.
grand finals already, and we will be seeing a quick, early, little delayed jungle farm coming in from Blade. I think he's copying Kwame. He's
The
copying the
Harmon.
Kwame strategy exactly. However, if it works out for him, that's gonna be a big thing. Illugo is trying to delay the buff a bit from the Fredrin, but he doesn't realize the fact
Yeah.
that the Fredrin is going to reach it so very late. So we'll have to see what really works out. Blade gonna be taking a bit of damage here though, but so far so good for both of these teams.
There's always one thing that I usually, of course, Blade, his decision making is always kind of weird sometimes. And sometimes it costs their game, sometimes it make the game, it's a make or break kind of brain that he has. So I'm pretty up for that too in this game as well. But it's going to be a little bit behind, but he did got the lead to Wanderer, so that's going to be a little bit lead that he have right now. But looking at the jungle potential far, they are going to be mirroring each other. So they have a focus onto the goal, onto the XP lane side, which means that they want to have a good start onto this turtle here. But the thing about Zohunt's lineup is that they do have good initiation for the level 4 onwards, because they have the Kadita, they have the dragon that can come through into the early start of the game, and that can eventually be in favor for their side. So the contest might eventually be better, but they need to have Elu very, very healthy for that. Look at that.
Exactly. So and they are actually going in for a bit of that engage onto the mid side.
Ooh.
But Prime's gonna get a 1v1 win. The Previous Rival is gonna take down Blade right away. She tried to heal up a bit, but the Petrify is gonna hit them right on target. The Chaos Druid coming in from Alice doesn't catch anyone except Dusty Mizo.
What?
He's gonna have to flicker out though, but no, Mintley onto that Kadita. Showing the power of the fish right away.
I think that could have been so much worse for Zohunt because they lost out their jungle, but Prime winning onto the lane in a 1v1 situation, this is what we were talking about, right? Because of the Bruno here, but wait, Dragon, huh? Okay. I feel like he's just scouting out the places so that there's no way that Riza will be able to reach there on time. So it's kind of a good waste onto their resources here so that he can actually try to wait for the second turtle here, because there's no need for the dragon to come through without any objective into the start of the game where they need a lot of farm. But the focus is onto the bot lane side here. Really will be needing the Petrify to go for the engages, but which he did not have right now, so they have to stop a little while. But a bit of a steal onto the blue buff here from Blade. I think he did what he wanted to do into the early into the first few minutes of the game.
That's exactly what. And for now, as far as we can see, Team Zohan, they are leading in terms of gold as well as kills. How long they can keep up with that is the question, because the Bruno needs a farm, but Prime isn't gonna let him have that farm.
Whoa!
Hitting every single Death Sonata bullet, especially the last one, which is gonna give him more crit damage. So that's gonna be another 1v1 win for him. Huge early advantage as a Ranger user. Even out of the top side, Dusty Mizo is the one who's getting pressured, being a huge giant instead of the Ranger. And now Mentally is definitely going to be looking for that kill. Hell, Clovarian, he's very unaware right now. He's very unaware, and boom! That's such an obvious positioning, but unfortunately, that's just Zohunt for you.
That's a Kadita, by the way, and of course he did not even need the Petrify. Of course, they wanted to get the Purify off, but the damage was too much from the Kadita. That's why you don't really let go of the Kadita against Johanna, especially in here. I think the Elise Sar wanted to set up for something here, but it's just a waste of resources here. The turret will be taken away in the 4 minutes of the game, and the top lane, worst case scenario relief. Dusty's already on trying to get all those lane cuts so that when the team fight comes in for the turtle, he's gonna be available on time. But good enough that Star is able to reach there on time. That's definitely going to be the case. But looking at the build so far, I felt like Unseen will be prioritizing onto the minions. Never mind, Petrify.
Oh my god, that Clovarian is just struggling at the moment against the Ranger, against the Kadita. And Zohan, they have been prioritizing the targets so well. They have been getting neutral objectives. The turrets are there on down bot, and they are taking the turrets as well. Technically, so far they are at a very win-win situation, and right now they will be swapping out on the lanes and forcing the jungle, asking the jungle to just go and clear the opposite lane, while 4 of them go in for a force push up top.
This is usually how Zohan can rotate when they have a start into the early here, but they might want to focus on Star. Look at that.
Definitely definitely quite a lot of damage going down.
Ooh.
And that's the Sky Pierce's stacks for you. It can take down even now this was 10% of HP still left. So definitely the Granger is on a 4-0-0. I think he has like 20 stacks of Sky Pierce already
Yeah.
by now. We'll have a look into it later. But
Oh, 10. Oh.
yeah, 10. Okay, that's the first kill he got ever since he
Uh,
moved his pack. So I guess he went for the Hunter Strike as first item, I believe.
yeah, he could have. He could have actually went for the Sky Pizza because he did win out onto the lane. But I'm pretty much sure that they just know that he'll be able to do it as well. But never mind. They're just focusing on to the buff for Riza here. Look at that.
Definitely, they're not gonna let the Frederick farm up at all. Final Steed comes in along with that Praise Wrath. The Prime is gonna
Wow.
get onto Shia's Blade, takes down Riza, finally getting the revenge he had. Another Petrify, and Prime is gonna get the double easily. And that is going to be a major lead for the side of Team Zohunt. A 110 and 7,000 gold lead under the 7-minute mark, which is pretty huge for a semi-mid-game based drop. Like, apart from the Leo or the Kalida, the Ranger, he actually needs to scale up, but he has been performing so well ever since minute 1.
Yeah, I think, you know, I did call him a 3-1 trick last night. And then he was actually offended with that because he's gonna be Granger 1 trick now. Look at that. He's got a lot of damage onto his kit here, and there's gonna be a free turn of Venom Steed though.
Again, Prime Steed will be pushing
Wow.
Sam right back to where he escaped from, and Prime is gonna rack up those kills as much as he possibly can. That's 30 stacks of Sky Base for him already, and he's gonna start hitting like a truck once he makes up the Malefic. Yeah, he's got that as well. Next up, what? BOD or C Halbert? That's what he's going ahead for. Yeah, so definitely.
BOD?
I do feel the Sea Halberd would be a better choice though, because most Granger players, they just avoid building up the BOD these days.
Okay. Stacks out the Capriccio and the Sky Pieces should be enough for him to dish out the damage here at this point of time. This is just no Granger that we are talking about. 1 to 11 is the score. Just one that's onto the side of Zohunt. Never mind. I think there's an engage.
That's gonna be a rough waves coming in, and the Brilliance will be used up defensively.
Oh.
But Blade gets a kill on the Covarian down mid though, and the Covarian is just kind of on a suffering streak. What's that what we like to call it these days? I have no idea. But the poor thing has been marked by the Khadida, by the Granger, as well as the Leomord now. So he's just being forced to play so far back behind him, doesn't even have fun to do anything. Mentally, of course, on his signature pick is doing an amazing job. Tech Charge comes in on the Dusty Miza, but he's gonna be able to run away from it. Alice tried to go
Okay.
He's gonna get the kill. That's a flick of Chaos Remain onto 2. Good knockup coming in from Star as well there. But Blade and Prime with farm that they have right now, they are gonna get a 4 kills down for themselves. 4 for 1 trade only, and that also on the EXP laner, so nothing major for now. And that's gonna be the blessings being popped off right at the 9-minute mark, and they will be taken away the first lot of the game, and that could very well be the end of the game with the amount of lead that they have right now.
That's a possibility because this is a very fair Granger, by the way. No flickers as yet for Prime. But I think it was a perfect take onto the sorts of the turret from Elu so that he'll be able to blast onto the holy seal there, because it's only 9 minutes of the game, and it's only going to be going into the 12 minutes, so they don't have time for that. But the lord will be up in less than 10 seconds, and they're actually going to be waiting for that. A lot of damage already from Prime. Look at that.
And there's gonna be an AOG coming in. Riza is gonna get taken down immediately by the Granger.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure he has all 80 stacks now, and he is just gonna be like dealing nearly 1k. Oh no, it's at 70.
One more.
One more. Yeah, it just needs one more. And once he gets that, he's gonna be dealing 1,000 true damage every single time that he gets the bullets. Like the last hit, it's gonna be like 1,000 true damage from the piercer itself.
I don't think anyone can actually mark on him right now because again it's a Granger. You might want to have a good dive, right? And I don't see anyone diving onto him. Even Sai is not that tanky enough to try to go in. Dusty, surprisingly enough, he went for the Hunter Strike instead. Of course, that is usually what you want to build on a dragon these days. It's usually much more prio than the War X2 because you already have a good sustain. But mid lane though.
Yep, Kenzie the AOG, trying to be locked in and down mid. That's gonna be a
Wow.
panic speed. Prime gets finally the 80 stacks. He's gonna get a double. He's trying to look for the triple onto Asar.
What?
He is gonna get it with the basic attack. The teleport isn't gonna help him in any way possible. Clovarian and Unseen, the only ones being left remaining to defend it, and now the minions are going to be charging in. That's the black dragon form and used up on the backside. Clovarian's going to get petrified. Purify comes in from him. Blade definitely tried to get the mark. Prime, he is absolutely blasting people away. The base is wide open. Everyone's charging in to defend, but it's not going to be enough as the Lord charges in, and the base will fall prey to the hands of Team Zohunt.
It's just Prime's world, and we are living in it. And he's killing everyone. And 30 to score onto the stats here, 1403, and that is a cringe. Claverian, I don't think Bruno. This is why we were actually a bit questioning onto the Bruno here. He doesn't really have the ways to survive. Of course, the Purify is there to just help him away from the Kadita. That was the full focus coming to it from Johan. They are trying to divert the attention from Prime and help him have this moment with himself. And when Leave Esports realized what have been happening, it was a little bit too late for them there, and I don't think they have ways to come back for that. Even if they got a shutdown kill onto Prime, I don't think that's going to be enough. They were a lot behind onto the goal, but good set and a good transition of events into the early since the start of the game from the side of Johan.
Exactly so, and unfortunately, Clovarian is actually using one of the heroes he has a Supreme on, so technically, I think he was just marked way too hard, and otherwise, he could have performed better than what he did tonight. Unfortunately, that's going to be it for game number 1. We'll soon be back with match 2.
Prime is over.
Prime, man. Wow.
Yesterday I told him that if you don't get your Freya, you're not gonna win, and bro was he was offended, man.
Crazy. He did well, man. He's winning a 1v1 with the Bruno, which is huge.
That's why they keep winning. Blade is so questionable.
Blade is like, I mean, he's good, but he's a bit inconsistent, if that's the right word. I'm not sure.
He is. He's so inconsistent.
Exactly.
The other, they always play even if they don't play together, but Blade, he doesn't play at all.
Yeah. Poor Unseen though, man. This Unseen guy, he tries to freeze the lane with the Grok and then...
Yeah, he always get flopped. It's so funny. Okay, hello guys, we are back again for the game number 2. Game number 1 already way by Zohunt, and this is gonna be a second game for the best of 5 series. Looking at the band so far, respect band directly being done by 2 of these teams. You know, when you see heroes that usually isn't banned into the first place being banned out here, you just know that these 2 teams already know each other very well. And what can you see from here? Cloverian's hero gone and Prime's hero also gone, and look at that, the Gatot. It was creating a lot of space for the team, so I think that's also one of the reasons why Johan has to ban it away.
Exactly. So, I mean, the Freya and the Kadita have been such a threat from the side of Zohan, and they have been using those 2 heroes so much that Leaf Esports know that they need to ban those 2 out if they even want to stand a chance to win. Previous game, though, the draft was looking so much in favor of the side of Team Leaf, but Zohan, they were just on the comforts, right? The Kadita made some changes, and then Prime winning the lane in a 1v1. That was the major winning factor for them in the early as well as mid game. And late game, of course, the Ranger wins out. Zohan, they're going to be sticking to their game 1 bans again. So it's a carry, Grok, and Sora being taken out by them again.
For one thing, I do realize that Zohan, they don't play the Sora. I guess not in the goal lane, not in the not in the XP lane. They always ban it away. But Juicin is gonna be always a move. Plays a sick Jushin, so that's also an option here. But first pick coming through from the side of Johan is that I think these 2 teams don't play Kalea, man. So yeah, Elu will be on his signature. That is a very good Hilda pick he always usually go for. So that means that maybe, just maybe, Blade might be on the Leo mode yet again if they want to do that. But they can deny the Leo here right now for Riza because I think that the Fredrin did not work at all. So what can be an answer for the Hilda? They can still go for the Khalid, but Leo mode, yeah, that's gonna be a deny. So why can't they go here though?
Maybe the Eve that could work out on the mid side. Just as a denial, then comes the Esmeralda towards the EXP if they want to go in for that. But Sari is more comfortable onto the R-Lord, so maybe we'll see the R-Lord coming back in this game. We'll have to see though because it's a little bit unpredictable this time around. And okay, that's gonna be a huge Zhonglok coming in towards EXP, which means they're giving away the Claude and the Eve.
The Claude and the Eve. Oh, this should be a good combination. And the thing is, they can give away the Eve if they want. That's the problem. But I think they're just taking away 2 of the heroes. So Leaf, I think they did their comfort draft here to Prime. If you want to go for the Granger again, I have no complaint, not at all. But the thing about the XP lane is that I'm quite worried that they might need something that can catch up to the Yuzong, maybe the Uranus, the Lapu Lapu as well, if they want to pick it right now, because there's no way they play the Esmeralda, right? Yeah, there we go. That's gonna be the Lapu here, and the Granger, that's a comfort too. So Leave, they need a marksman too. They need the late game magic damage dealer. I mean, not magic, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whatever mid lane they pick up here, it's gonna be a bit weak towards until the mid game anyway. So maybe they go in for Nathan against the Granger. That does work well. Plus, they have the front line too. The petrified setups and the Phantom Steeds are gonna be quite helpful for the Nathan to reposition in the team fights. But we'll have to see against the Hilda if they wanna go in for such a decision. But maybe they wanna go in for the carry or the carry Kalia or the Lunox Kalia combination. But carry, I'm pretty sure is gonna get banned anyways.
Yeah, they already done their job to banning it away. So yeah, the only perfect combination that can come true is gonna be the Kalea Lunox. That's one. But oh, Valentina ban. I've never seen Minley on the Valentina unless very very necessary. But hey, I think they just want a big. They don't want a big ultimate into the hands of the side of Johan because there's already a Tsunami Slam that he can take or the Dragon that he can also take. So they can try to focus onto the mid lane here, Mage's ban. But you know something about Minley is that it's not expected, right? Last time also we have seen him onto the Chang'e against EVT, which is a very, very strong opponent, and they won out because they had a Chang'e that's a very unconventional mate, and he did suffer, but the late game has come through. So I'm not gonna be questioning about the mid hero pool that he has. So they might eventually wanna focus directly onto the jungle instead, right? Because the Fanny is also out there. Wow, they still did.
Crazy actually the way these people play it out. The Farsa will be taken away. Maybe we see the carry band up next or the Harriet. That's a possibility from their side. But even if they do take those out, they just have enough frontline and whatever you want to talk about it. On the hands of Zohunt of Leaf Esports, so they definitely need the Lunox here with the Kalia if they want to be able to make that combination work.
It's funny to see that they banned out 4 mazes and they have completely let go of the Eve, right? So they might have wanted the Eve for themselves, but good read, Johan. They banned away the Kimmy, right? But I think this should have been more of a Lunox than a Kimmy setup for the side of Leaf because, like you said, we already see the Kalea, right? There's a good combination to the Lunox as well, and I don't think there's a combination coming through with the Kimmy and the Kalea too, and they are just trying to lessen down the amount of marksmen that's playable for Glaverian. So maybe they can just pick up the Lunox right now and try to go for a little bit of a flex into the gold lane side.
Try to embrace all that you
Exactly what I was thinking as well. But end of the day, what matters is can you really pull off what you pick up? That's the whole thing. And
Yeah.
for now, as far as we can guess, yeah, it is going to be the Lunox on the Gavia combo immediately. The Leomore does count for the damage that's being dealt when the Killian out, so technically that's a pretty decent lineup. Zohan, meanwhile, they need to pick up their mage. Maybe they go in for something like, oh wait, what's the option left for them again? The Eve. Yeah, the Eve is the only thing they have.
Yeah.
on now.
Oh yeah, and it's a winning lane against the. Okay, there we go. Fanny we were talking about. They completely left open the Fanny. It could have been better if Leave have banned the Fanny there. But here, Minli, do you want to play the... Okay, there we go. He wanted to play for the Z10. So this lineup is mainly made up for Prime. Yet again, they want to focus onto the gold lane side here. I could have bet that they wanted to go for the Eve in this scenario, but maybe they just know that against the Yuzhong and the Leomite, you'll not be having the best time of their life because the dive is gonna be out there. But last pick, this can be a Ruby, CC.
Or
What is
just the carry, which
Marksman?
is still open. Yeah, the carry is open.
Yeah, Carrie's Ben. Carrie's Ben.
Oh no. Oh wait, sorry, I'm blind. Never mind. Carry is banned out. Lunox is there. They have a Granger. So the Harriet?
Harriet or
Or
Sustain?
Nathan. Harriet or Nathan. Oh no.
What?
What? Okay.
Oh no!
Okay. Thank you.
I would take a Ruby here any day. Not gonna lie, because the Fanny is already there, right? So, okay. Now that I think about it, the Zetian pick here for the side of me makes more sense now because they do lack onto the control and a bit of the poke with the true damage that can come through on his first skill as well. Oh no, the second skill. So maybe that's also the reason why they went for the Zetian, but I don't know about the Iritel, man. He's always gonna be a food for the Hilda. Of course, he's gonna be picked away just
Yep.
because they wanna win against the lane, right?
Yep.
Dude, does Irital win still? I don't think so, right?
Irithel can win against the Granger, but it's Prime's Granger, so that's a
That's what.
big question. So we will have to see how he decides to play it. Plus, there's going to be a Fanny and a Lapu and a Hilda onto
Yeah.
him every single time he decides to go out, even just a bit of his tower. So technically not the best of picks to have, but end of the day, if they can make it work, then it's a pretty good draft. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We have stepped into the land of dawn for game number 2. So far, Zohunt have won a pretty easy victory into game 1, and that is going to be it for them after game 1. Now we will be seeing game number 2.
Let's see how the draft is gonna be looking like. And now that I think more about it, I would like the Nathan rather than the Iritel again and again. But hey, it's gonna be the marksman, right? That's a combination coming through from the side of Zohunt, and whoever you're going to be picking up is always going to be vulnerable to just dive time and time again. But onto the experience, this is what we want to focus on a little bit more, because this is going to be Lapu Lapu versus the Yuzhong. I think they're going to be neutralizing onto the skills as well, so that they'll be able to reach the level 4 peacefully and try to go for the contest onto the turtle and go 8 for the team instead of just doing in the 1v1 situation here. Blade, he started with the red buff, which means that he's gonna be more available just before the start of the turtle if he have the blue buff here. So it's gonna be important that she is always gonna have that flicker, so that he'll be able to have a good escapism onto the onslaught of the Fanny.
Exactly so. And now that's done. We won't really be seeing any fight before the turtle, except for Fanny trying to steal away those small creeps, and the mirror thing being done downward though. So I guess the Leaf Esports will have a little bit more map control at the turtle, because they are on the EXP side already, as compared to the players of Team Zohunt. So technically speaking, they should be able to find themselves out of that map control, which they already have though, and they know that she is gonna be stepping out of that region. Riza is there to support his EXP laner, so technically enough, they should be able to take this turtle. But oh no, Blade can go into the control onto the Leomore.
Oh,
Fury of the Phoenix is gonna land. That's one important resource being used up, but they do not really have the ways to find themselves the turtle yet, because the Black Dragon is gonna be here, and Leomore definitely gonna be stealing it away, and Blade wasn't able to reach it on time. But Sar tries to go in for Ilu, but we have to back off.
that was a good and fast decision making coming through from the side of Leaf Esports right there, but Prime will be able to steal out. Oh, never mind, he's not. But Minley though, it's gonna be taken down against 3 members. No flicker. He did have the flicker. He must be caught off position here with the petrify, of course. But still, Leaf, that is a very, very good comeback that they have right now. They need this kind of inertia into the start of the game, so that at least Claverian will be able to have a good goal onto his hands, so that he will be able to keep the Grandeur in check into the lane, especially, and not let him out, because when he's out, he's going to be able to stack a lot of Capriccio, and then he's going to be dealing out a decent amount of damage, which we do not need for the side of Zohunt here. But 1v1 situation onto the bot lane, I think the Brace Fighter have a low cooldown, so it's definitely going to be an okay spot. But Blade, does he want to go in?
Probably does. Yeah, he does. He's got the cutthroat. Yeah, he's gonna get enough stacks as well. Yeah,
Okay.
it's gonna be an easy little kill for him. And of course, that's the music did help him get the get the HP of Sara low enough for Blade to secure that kill.
I think these could have been done into the early stages just right at level 4, so that they'll be able to have good turtle. But apparently, I think the good read coming through from Riza, where he was able to aid on his team, was definitely going to be enough for that, and a good attempt. But top lane Prime!
Yep, he will be definitely trying to sustain everything, but he can't with 4 people jumping on him. I guess this time around the trajectory of the game is much more favorable for the side of Leaf Esports. They should be even able to find that tower. But yeah, Iritel's early game push potential is not so high, and Prime will be back on time to try and find that last minion, which is on his way. Yes, they could even go in for a 1v1.
Yep, no blue buff yet for Blade right now, so it's gonna be lagging. I mean, waiting just a little bit to try to wait for it to, and they will not be starting into the turtle just yet. But the thing about the Fanny is that it's more important for him to get all of those kills rather than to take for the turtle too, and I think Leaf also knows that. Never mind, Brace Fighter.
Brace Fighter is gonna be used up, but the Black Dragon will be used up as well. He's trying to find Zacian in the middle of everything, but she's just so safe under that tower. Tries to get the passive onto but yeah, that's not gonna work out, because they get the turtle, but in exchange, Fanny and Prime find that kill onto Claverian once again. They're just trying to shut down the Iritel as much as possible, but now Prime is the one in a lot of danger. He's gonna have 4 people jumping on him anytime possible, but thankfully, oh no,
nice.
Yes, that Nami Slam will be there to catch Lay of Guard, and Lunox will immediately secure that kill.
That's a good pick off. That's deemed unnecessary for the side of right now. lane, this is what they want to focus on, and trying to clear it out. I think he might be able to do so. Yeah, Johan, they need to back away because that kind of means time and Dusty, you don't want to be get caught into the middle.
He does use a Brave Spider as well, and it will
Oh.
have a bit of the CC immunity. He's trying to
Okay.
mod on the Irrital, which could work out. The Cutthroat definitely
What?
gonna be hitting on target. But Unseen manages to escape with 1 HP, but not gonna be enough as Ilu decides to suck him onto the turret and find that kill. She gets the kill again thanks to the turret damage, trying to be able to take that turret with just one basic attack, and that's exactly what he does, and he will be able to find 1 kill in his name, and now they've got to back off because right now the turrets are pretty equal except for the side of Team Zohunt having secured the mid lane, while the side of Leaf Esports having secured the 2 side lanes.
I do think that it's much more important and more valid more of a value if you take the mid lane inhibitor, mid lane turrets first than the side lane, because this gave a lot of spacing for Prime to have a good without getting taken down. He can freeze the minions and wait for the others to come through as well. But now that I think about it, this could be a free top lane here, so this definitely can be taken down by the side of Johan. No response whatsoever coming through from the side of Leaf Esports here. But now I think for Unseen, he have the Tsunami Slam.
Exactly so, and now we'll be seeing Pure Phoenix once again.
Wow.
Cloverian will be the one getting marked every now and then. Blade definitely trying to get that steel cables onto him, and he actually gets it. I have absolutely no idea why the Irrital came back, but Prime getting marked so hard. Riza gets a maniac on the other side. Blade marks Cloverian, but Riza says, "You can kill my marksman, but I am gonna kill your team." And that's exactly what Riza did. But now he doesn't have Phantom Steed, so technically they're gonna be playing a 1v1 game, and Riza and find the 5th kill for himself. Blade ran out of energy at the wrong time, and that's gonna be another free kill for Riza.
I mean, the dude just stood still on his horse, and the Keppel did not poke him enough so that the energy weren't really. That's a poor Blade, man. First time he got his friend and he got him related like this, but I'm pretty sure he can have a comeback after this time because he needed that blue weapon. I don't think he had that at that time also, but now again 7-0-3 for Riza right now. Look at that jump though.
Engage coming in against the Brave Spider, and we tried
him,
but she manages to get the kill immediately. The steel cable is doing quite a lot of damage this time around, but he needs to back off though, because they are able to heal up thanks to the Kalia passive, and Prime this time around, he hasn't been able to stack up as much.
The fact that Dusty have more gold than Prime is bad enough for Prime this time around. Of course, this is a second pick, first phase Granger, by the way. Of course, it's going to be getting counted quite a lot, and the fact that Riza have more gold onto his kit, that is 6k gold he already had, and of course got light already, he's still 0 that's down the drain. Of course, if he gets taken down here, and even at one point I think he's going to be giving a lot of items, a lot of gold into the hands of Zohunt, so this he might be the main focus here at that point. But Blade, not Blade, but Prime though, look at that.
Getting more down again, and he will get taken down immediately. Leaf Esports decide that Prime is the threat they need to take out, and that is exactly what they do. With Zohunt as well, I think they are marking down the turrets quite a lot. Blade is doing a fantastic job at that, but the Irrital is starting to hurt now, especially that physical penetration which he gets from the first kill. It's starting to be a little too much for the side of Zohunt to handle, possibly.
I think this is why you shouldn't play Fantasy though.
Yep, again, Cloverian will manage to take down Ilu. Not the best of trades when the Lord is coming up, so technically Zohunt is on the losing hand this time around. Mentally, he isn't able to keep up, but the steel cables are looking like that one last ray of hope every single time he decides to poke and deal some damage to the side of Team Leaf Esports. But right now, this Lord, it should be a very easy secure for them. Yep, it's gonna go uncontested.
It's gonna be a little bit hard for the side of Zohunt to clear out the Lords here again. They have that kind of high ground in comparison to Leaf because they haven't transferred into the side, and However, out of meta it is. This is a farmed USL who hasn't been focused much into the early phases of the game, and he's got the items much more better than Prime also. And now it's gonna be hurting Johan here. They need to have a good decision making. They need to focus a little bit onto the backlines first. But then again, who will be able to go in because Ilu is the one with the damage, and it's only gonna be Dusty Misa. But then he's not that much of a tanky hero here.
That's exactly what, but right now, if you can notice, Zohunt might just be winning this fight a bit, but Brilliance will be there to save. She's alive, and he will make it out alive. Blade is gonna get caught up a little bit, but he manages to escape the steel cable. But right now, the mid lane tier 1 will be falling down quite easily. Maybe even tier 2. Blade is kind of looking
Wow.
for a clear with the steel cable, but he is hesitating a bit to go in because he
Mm.
knows that the Kalia can ult in mid-air, and that's just such a big threat as a Fanny user.
That's why it's kind of important, for him to be very, very decisive. It's gonna be a pro too, and this time around, it's gonna be bad for the time Johan. They were actually playing a setup for for Prime for the Grandeur, and it did not look quite well because the Grandeur that's in question here is 0 stacked onto the Sky Piece, and he don't really have the items that he did into the game number 1 here. Top lane though, Dragon just wasted away to kill to escape being taken down, but Edu might be caught though. Wow. Okay, I think Ilu, he might be getting caught into the missile. That's gonna be a jump go to everyone's is gonna be taken down, but he did get a kill onto Claverian, so giving the life of a marksman for a Roma, I mean of a Roma for a marksman is definitely gonna be better here at this point of a time. But I think yeah, this was a needed pick off that's been quite necessary for the side of Johan, but it would have been better if they focused on Teresa instead of Claverian. But then again, if they focus more on Teresa again, Claverian will be let loose, and he will always gonna be hurting to the backlines most of the time and still able to escape the sprint that he usually is gonna be having. But Star is gonna be spotted out there, so I think he doesn't really have the ways to get the Fanny here because without the Petrify or anything else, the Fanny can fly away and not get caught. But this time around, the Lord rather, will be more important for the side of Johan rather than for the side of Leaf Esports here because that will find them a way to go in. But look at that though.
Yep, that's Sam gonna be coming in onto Ilu, and he's gonna get bursted down right away.
Nice.
Prime can't really find a way to just deal some damage, because Sar is there to zone people out. And Team Leaf Esports has been so much better in this game, and I feel like that's affecting Team Zohunt's gameplay quite a bit. Blade trying to look for a kill on the back line, especially Claverians. His positioning is quite good, but can he find in the middle of all those people is the biggest question. Right now, he's just looking for a little bit of that clear onto the bottom side. So Team Leaf Esports can't really push in with the minions that's gonna come in, and they aren't able to spot Blade either, except now.
Yeah.
And I think that Blade is just waiting for his own minions to come in. But no, look at the Tsunami Slam going once again. But this time around, Dustamiza will be able to get the stuns onto a lot of people. And that's gonna be an instant 4-man wipeout for the side of Team Zohunt.
Direct stacks onto the Sky Piece, that's gonna be a double kill for Prime as well. But that was an amazing engage coming from Minley with the Fury of the Phoenix. He was able to stun 5 of the members, and Sarah was trying to get the sync onto the minions, and yeah, they couldn't have spotted where the Fanny was gonna be. That's one of the advantages of a Fanny, man. You don't really know where it's gonna be flying out because of the mobility that you have, and when there's no vision of him, you're always gonna have to be careful from wherever reason he can come to. But the Dragon, just to save the mid-tier turret, I don't think he's able to do so though.
He did get Mintley's passive off, but
Yeah.
Zacian, and who's gonna reach Zacian? I mean, only the Kalia can possibly, if he manages to catch him off guard, but we'll have to see how that decides to work out. for the side of Leaf. For now, though, Unseen definitely trying to mark down that bush. He knows that people are there in that bush, and he will be looking for a setup with Tsunami Slam every now and then. Him and she are in position. The side of Team Zohunt
Mhm.
as well, they're not going to leave any chances to get picked off like that all over again, because they have just managed to secure a little bit of lead for themselves. The goal lead has been equalized between the two teams, and the side of Team Leaf Esports just lost out on whatever domination they were having.
It's actually good that Prime have the penetration as well as the anti-heal on his side. Meanwhile, for Claverian, though, he's gonna be needing that Wind of Nature, especially against Blade, rather than anyone else. There's just 20 stacks onto the Sky Pieces, so that's gonna be still doable unless he go for the 40 stack. That is gonna be unstoppable at that point of a time for the Grandeur. So it's gonna be very important for the side of Leaf to not give any kills into the hands of the Grandeur. Instead, for giving him kills, he would have to be the one that they should focus on. So it will be into the hands of Unseen on who he's gonna be getting the Tsunami Slam upon. That's gonna be the decider of this game. And this time around, it's also gonna be a bit of a 50-50 situation. The lore is gonna be up, and they should be contesting for Johan. They should try to find at least some spacing to try to enter this Lord pit.
Exactly. So, and honestly enough, Leaf Esports have got the control at the Lord, and Ilu is trying to just
Mhm.
find any target he possibly can, trying to get the vision out of the Kalia so his
Right?
teammates don't get picked off. But okay, Blade, we didn't see anything. You're doing an
No, no.
amazing job. Cutthroat, it's not gonna deal enough damage on Star. He's got the anti-cuirass on him, so technically, um, for now, so when they just need to wait it out and try to steal the lot, because they can't fight face out. Oh no, but
Oh!
Unseen, he's gonna fuck up a bit
Win.
on the backside. Window Nature will be used up, but Kavarian is gonna get forced away so much. Cutthroat is gonna land on she's gonna get taken down right
Right?
before Prime flickers out from the range of Sar, and there's gonna be another kill on
Oh.
Unseen. So one finally looking back into the game as they get those kills into their hands. Now they're gonna be moving in for the Lord.
That is a nasty, nasty Furia the Phoenix yet again from mid lane. You know, I put this guy as a bit of a carry mates player rather than the utility, but now he's doing so well with those instigation of the steam fight, and most of the time the way he's able to cancel out onto the tsunami slam time and again, just helping the team quite a lot. And I think he was able to get a good stun onto that, and the damage that he was pulling from that ultimate, just giving them a lot of leeway for even Blade to go and get a kill onto Sheen, not letting him get the free hit. And this is definitely going to be a free Lord, and Johan now finally find their great footing, and they need to try to have a sing onto this lane so that they'll be able to get this game in.
That's exactly what I'm alone. I got the Lord, and they've got a kill on
Wow.
T all over again. Dusty Miso manages to make it out back alive, but Prime doesn't have a flicker, so he's got to be a bit safe from that dragon. And he's got the Purify as well onto him, but the Black Dragon form has been used up, and the Lord is still very, very healthy at 18,000 HP. And Team Zohan are trying to move in. That's gonna be an engage from the Unseen on that Lord itself. They're just trying to stop the Lord from reaching the base all over again with the
Oh.
steel cables and the damage from Prime, who gets taken down finally, but Blade is gonna get a killing spree. He's gonna get a double. He's trying to look for the triple. That's an insane amount of spam coming in from him. He finds the triple finally. That is Blade's Fanny for you, ladies and gentlemen. That is Zohunt for you. They pull up a wipeout, an amazing comeback after being at a deficit, and now they will be securing game 2.
Game number 2, clean for both of the sides. It kind of become unnerving to say the least, because both of them are doing really, really well. And Leave, I feel like the Kalea gameplay, the pickoff gameplay, should be better for them onto their hands as well. And I also think that Star has been doing amazing onto the Yu Jong too, because at one point of time he wasn't letting anyone nail his teammate. And he's always good in joining away Prime too, and I think that was very, very needed when you play against the Prime Grandeur. And this time around he's not going to be the real carry because they have a Fanny on their side. They were actually trying to play for the Grandeur, but in the end they were actually setting up for Blade instead. And pretty sure that is going to be a very, very good coming through from the side, a good Fanny coming through from the side of Johan as well. But this time around I think Leaf they finally find a great footing. They just need a little bit of a discipline and not much mistake into the later part of the game, and maybe just maybe ban away the Fanny.
Exactly what they did so well in the early game. Especially with
Yeah.
that Leomord and the Lunox
Mm-hmm.
and the Kalia combination. But something just went wrong down bottom when they got that first Lord coming in. They messed up the engage onto the Lapu, and then that's Misa got a set up onto 3 people, and then Blade just came in and wiped them because he was already very farmed. And that just changed the entire game altogether. And even though Prime
Mm-hmm.
was struggling, I think end of the day he did manage to carry it out quite a bit. But that's gonna be it for game 2. We'll be back with Zohunt being at match point with game number 3 very soon.
Every day.
Oh, I think it's just gonna be a best of 3 as well, and in the finals too. That means that Zohunt won a clean sweep, and they actually won the Winter Showdown, Debbie.
Really? I thought it could have been a best of 5, but that was a good
Ah,
game coming through from both of the teams, man. It could have been much better because Leaf could have won that out. You can drag the game to the later, at least one more. But that was a definite good one. Look at that, we are starting here again.
what? Okay. I mean, we just said that. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
April's
Oh
full,
no.
guys. April's full.
Okay.
It's February 1's full.
It's fine. We are back into game 3. It is a best of 5. That's what I'm thinking. It's finals. Of course, it's a best of 5. This time
Yeah.
around, though, Karita Freya again on the board and Carrie, Grok, Sora for Zohunt all over again.
Oh,
It's just gonna be the same things.
yeah, of course. Jushin, Grok. Maybe they can let go of the Jushin. Leomord. Okay, they Riza onto the Leomord already. Maybe ban the Fanny here too. But then again, wait. Oh, they can get the Grok for themselves and let it go. You know what? I think for Leaf, it's better that they play the. It's so good that they play the pick off combination. That's so their style rather than the team fight com or a utility into the jungle. But then they take away the Leomord nasty coming from Johan.
Yeah, that's what. I mean, Zohunt also just banned out They just realized that it's one of his comfort picks, and they're like, nah, you don't need to give us any more trouble in the third game. Let's just play peacefully and something like that. So I hope that Leaf Esports has an answer to this, but for now they should be banning out the Yuzhong. Yep, that's gonna be it. A respect ban for Dusty Mizo, and believe we will be seeing the Grok or the Sora ban. Yeah, it's gonna be the Sora instantly. They just realized that Unseen might not be that good onto the Grok as
Uh,
a threat for them. But let's see if he can redeem himself in this one.
Jushin or Grok, right? But you kind of always want to prioritize onto the Jushin. Yeah, I would rather Jushin than the Grok actually. But hey, that's what's gonna be better here. And I think Hilda can also be again into the hands of Ilu because I feel like he rather play the Hilda rather than the Grog, and he don't even touch the Kalea, man. I don't know, but hey, that's gonna be midday on to the first. A direct instant lock. He don't want to play around anymore against the Zushin, so that's also the reason why they have to let go. But he's still gonna be going for the Grog. Okay, no problem. They can be a very very great combination coming through, so that's definitely okay-ish, I guess.
Yep, and I believe the Jushin is one of Shi's specialties as well, so technically that's a very good pick against the Farsha and the Grok to just
Mm.
freeze the minions down mid. But along with the Jushin, Hylos is a pretty good combination, the God of Kaja is a pretty good combination, and so is the Fredrin in a way, and Riza could actually go in for that pick for himself, but then again, they do still need the Claude a bit. Oh no, it's gonna be a Lancelot into the hands of Risa this time. That's gonna be a debut pick, I believe, because I haven't seen him play the Claude
Oh,
so far.
I don't know. The Lancelot. I'm not really a big fan of this land. Oh wow, Claverian. Ah, okay. He was like, yeah, we cannot give the Granger animal, but like we said, it's gonna be the first time we have seen the Lancelot on the Riza, but also the first time for Claverian onto the Granger again. So now that's gonna be Prime onto the Harriet, no brainer. He wants to bring out the Harriet. I think he's itching for it as well, so that's a good sign. But Hilda bent away very good ban coming through from the side of Zohunt. They don't want the Hilda. They wanted the Grok instead, so why not ban the Hilda? Li Xuanxin taken away again. I'm pretty sure Blade will not pick out the Yi Xuanxin here, but who knows? They have a magic damage, so they needed the physical.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Prime on the Harriet is a bigger threat than Prime on the Granger, technically
Yep.
speaking. And you are actually giving away your counter to a player who plays that hero so well.
Yep.
So technically, Claverian is kind of cooked in this game, unless of course there's a miracle. On the hands of Leaf, though, they could still win it out. They have banned out on the Ascension, fair choice. They could take
Fanny.
out the
Yep.
Fanny again. Yeah, that's gonna be a brain dead Fanny ban, which is absolutely
Oh,
justified. But the
it's been so long,
Hayabusa
man.
against the Granger and the Jushin is such a cheese pick. I just love
Yep.
that pick. And it can go to the backline, it can force out the Lantern Flare, it can force out the Flickers every single time. It works against the Lancelot. So technically, Team Zohan are winning in the draft by a huge margin. Unseen here though, he definitely needs to think of something. The Khalid could work out quite a bit into
Oh
this.
yeah.
But if he decides to go for it, then the God of Kacha is banned out. Yeah, that's the only valid choice, kind of, I would say. What if he goes in for something like a Kufra or Johed?
Joe had the Purify can come through for Mindy as well. The Harriet's Kaza. Do
I mean,
they have a combination with the Kaza? Don't.
they do not.
That's not much of a damage.
That's
Yeah,
not.
there we go. Wow! Finally, at least into the hands of Dusty Mijo. You know, I mean, he's played the glue, he's played every physical hero, but never the Ellie. So this is gonna be a very good pick coming through from the side of him as well. He's gonna be able to get a good early lead into the turtle as well. But you know, the Esmeralda always gonna be having a greater time into the lane, no matter who he's facing against. But the fact that like you mentioned, the way that the way you like the Hayabusa, I really do too against this combination. But then the Kaza will be happening, right? So it's gonna be into the hands of Ilu whether he will be the one canceling out the Kaza, go for the reinitiation, or be the initiator because this Kaza might eventually be the downfall of Hayabusa if not checked right. But there's only gonna be one purifier to the side of Harriet here. I don't wanna be getting caught here into the midst of everything. But why is he on the Purify again?
Mm-hmm. Why is he on the purifying? It's a great question. But I mean, against the Jushin, I think he doesn't want to be interrupted when he is
Okay.
casting the Zaman Force, and he's just gonna go switch with the basic attacks every now and then. The knockup's just gonna be a very big threat if he misses even one basic attack in the late game, because technically speaking, he is the only one who can melt down the Esmeralda. But onto
True.
the hands of Leaf Esports as well. They do not really have anybody except the Ranger to melt Alice. But with that, we are into the land of Ladon, ladies and gentlemen. Team
Oh.
Zohunt is at match point, and finally we see a proper Grog freezing down the minions. Well done, Eagle. But with that, we will be seeing an amazing war. This time, Ariza will be starting down red, and Blade will be starting with his blue. So we're gonna see a rotation from both the junglers on towards their EXP. Technically speaking, that is a good decision. You do not want to mark a Granger and a Harriet in the early game, but we'll have to see how it works out for these people. Unseen, a bit over aggressive there. But
Yep.
he's used up the flicker too, and Finley is
Huh?
still available. It's gonna be a very easy first blood for the side of Team Zohan.
Could have been much better if it was actually Blade who got it, but the laser Wanderer will be secured by Riza here. Will be able to have a greater time with the laning, with the jungle clearance too. But talking about the wall that can come through here, I think it's helping them quite a lot because he was able to step onto the minions, which is kind of avoiding the Jushin to freeze out onto the lane against the Versa as well. So, wait, the Unseen is onto the same pathing again. Do you want to do this against this combination?
Very worried about what he is doing right now, and I do not know why he is doing what he is doing, but it's okay. Riza goes in for final execution. Mentally is a bit of a danger, and he is going to take it down with the taunt root, but he doesn't have any source of escape now. And Nilu is
Wow.
gonna just steal away that kill from Blade. Smart work, Mr. Tanka. But goal lane side as well. Prime is gonna be winning that lane pretty easily. Oh
Oh,
no, the
oh,
winter is way too low
okay.
for his comfort, and had Prime his flicker here, that would have been
That's
sure
fine.
shot kill.
I mean, knowing Prime, he might be basic attacking the turret there if he had the flicker. But hey, it's still gonna be a winning side for him without the kills also. But good region for Claverian to have a good backup as well because it's gonna be able to stack up. But the turtle right now might be eventually into the star outside of Johan here again. Does the still have the still have the outlook at that?
Yep, gonna see the Jushin getting those knockups on point for the Death Strike as well. Unseen gonna be kicking on very low, and he's gonna be sent right back to base. Mentally has to run away to avoid any more knockups, but she just kind of yeeted Grog back into his own turret zone. I don't know why, but okay. If it works for you, I guess.
Maybe just try and stop him from crazy attacking it. But the fact that Blade did not have the time to go for the retribution and actually taking out onto the turtle was gonna be equalizing onto them too. But oh man, this is so nasty coming through from the side of Johan. Oh wait, Blade, hello. This guy is so bad on retribution, man. Whatever it is always gonna be losing out something here. But good read though, he was able to get out onto this blue buff here. But mid lane.
Yep, can see Unseen getting targeted down again. That's the quad shadow, but it's not going to be enough to take him down this time around. Claverian has already picked up on his Skype here, so that's one good thing for the side of Leaf Esports, despite them being at a disadvantage. One more
Oh.
see though, but the damage from the Farsa, and it's not even 5 minutes of the game. Insane.
Mhm. That's insane already. If he had the feather airstrike, that could have been a sure kill for him, or a at least a bait on the flicker from Calvarian. But he was keeping his composure in and still not going in. But look at that. Oh,
Yep,
Dusty missed.
definitely. Dusty is gonna miss that, but it's okay. He's just gonna back out because, as I said, there's nobody to burst down the others from the side of Leap Esports, so that's a safety
Hmm.
thing for the side of Zohunt. And now Rock is just gonna be using up his passive to knock up these people with his wall. But Minty has gotta play it a bit safe against the Kaja and the Jushin combo, so technically enough, Blade is gonna mark down Claverian right here. And Claverian is so unaware, what the hell? And that's gonna be the quad shadow kill and the flip
Oh,
time, but Shadow's gonna be used up, so she technically has a chance to get the knockout. But no, he uses the Shadow to escape quite skillfully.
he did not land the saddle there. If he did, it could have been a sure kill. But mid lane right now, look at that.
Forced to back off quite a bit, the ball is on the up, but Dusty Mazer is in position to use up the Chaos Ruin. So very is trying to mark down the hill, that's gonna be
Oh,
on to 4 people in fact. As Amon force the Grok misses the ultimate, but end of the day, Prime manages to secure a kill onto the Granger again. Unseen gets caught into that wall. There's gonna be a lot of knockouts coming in from Sheen, but Blade definitely trying to kill not zone Ansar as well as take him down at the same time. So 2 for 1 trade, I believe, and the turtle also into their hands for the side of Zohan.
no, turtle was actually taken by Riza because don't expect Blade to win in a 50-50 on its turtle. So these dude never win a 50-50 turtle, man. It's a record, and I think it's more of a good read coming through from Riza with the taunt rules as well. He was able to at least find a compensation. But Ilu right now in the position where he can go for the flank, but no damage whatsoever coming through. He have around the Vixen vicinity, so they have to be very careful just a little bit and not to waste out the tech charge also. But Minley, oh, he's gonna do something.
It's definitely gonna do
Oh,
something. That's the power of having a power sword
nah.
into your hands. It's the same as a Kadita without the
Yeah,
watery business. It's just air business for Minsley.
air
So
business.
similar play styles onto those two heroes, and it's just gonna be a lot of advantage for the side of Team Zohunt. Kind of like a deja vu for the first game, I believe.
Mm, actually, true. I know the position is so perfectly done that there's no way Cleverian could have even read it out. But Divine onto mid lane, finally.
He actually has the Genius Bond and the Divine together, so those are two countering items. But if it works like it does, that's gonna be probably for him there. He's gonna get
Mm-hmm.
it super easily, trying to start but he doesn't use Saman Force, he doesn't really have it. But I believe they will make time to take down the mid lane turret. But Riza does clear out the way, so that's a good micro take on the side for now. Sar and Shin are trying to mark and a little bit from the kill, so somebody can finish it off. But on to the top
They are
side.
waiting for it.
Yeah, they're waiting for it. Prime is going to find the tier 1 up top though for the turtle fight. Again, the quad to kill onto the backside. Land flare being used up by She, so that's going to be one source of engage less around that turtle. But She managed to do some damage. But Blade, even though like Luigi's question, nope.
No.
Lisa is going to and Alice though definitely finds chaos during out of some people. Zara is going to kill onto Croc into the backside, far away from the team. As Brian is trying to steal away the blue quiet front of his head. And if he can manage to get it done, oh, he actually managed to
Oh,
take the blue. But now tier 1 will fall for the side of Team Zohunt.
finally a good something from coming to from the side of Leave Esports. Here they are able to find the turtle yet again. Oh man, Blade will be never winning onto the situation against me onto the Lancelot, not the less, but hey, he might be in trouble though.
Definitely in some trouble here. The ball try to kill locks
Oh,
in. The previous kite pierce attack for him as well. She uses up the flicker. Can he find the kill? Is the question. He can. And there's the damage from Reza as well. It was on a 3-1-1, which is a pretty good stat for Lancelot. Alice trying to zone people away for his time just to clear out the mid wave and protect that tier 1. Johan so far looking good as the
hey.
missed, but that's a flicker being used up by Unseen as well. So technically a 40-second cooldown for a 120-second cooldown is a very good exchange, I believe.
Yeah, it's a W1 at that too. But the thing is, the first build onto the Sky Piece are already inside of Claverian is not doing much for him because he have no kills at all. But Prime, I think it's gonna be taken low though.
Yep, a bit low. That's the power of an Esmeralda into your end
Mm-hmm.
to pair it. But if Brian makes up the Wishing Lantern, though, even the
Yeah.
Esmeralda not really standing that much of a chance. That's gonna be an out on the Alice? Who's gonna melt the Alice? Goddamn, Unseen. I don't know what that decision making was because Sar is just gonna be marked the Minsley right now, and Farsa is one of the easiest targets for him to take down along with the Harriet, I believe.
That's why they are actually a bit more focused. They should have actually been more focused onto the backline as well. But the thing is, Sarah has been doing a really good job in trying to zone away mid lane. But look at that damage though.
Yep, and he's fine in, and Kala will be able to find him as Cavalier takes down Dustin Music, but Hayabusa is now finally in the fight. He's gonna find another kill on to see who now is back in front of him. But Esmeralda is definitely zoning people away, and that's gonna
Okay.
be another feather airstrike, perfectly landing on the Claverian as well as Unseen. Both of them on the same KD actually, 1, 5, and 3.
1-5 entry and it's perfectly well done. I think the Federer extract it's outranging everyone coming to from the side of Leaf Esports, even though they were trying to focus a little bit too much onto mid lane. He's always going to be flickering away with wings by wings again, and even if he gets caught into the mid orbital, there's always going to be time for his team to always come back again. And I think Leaf, they are going to be focusing more onto the Farsa rather than to the Harriet at this point of a time, because I think Harriet can be still quite handleable by the Esmeralda, but unless he's built out those needed items that's still necessary. But what? Look at those though. Shadow kill not gonna be dealing enough of the damage.
Exactly so, and she is definitely trying to hold the game a bit for his team, and he's doing a pretty good job at that, I would say, because technically enough, Jushin is on one of the best players around Lancelot, so he has been providing some 15 wins to no cup steps for the team to try and hold on to the game. Map-wise, team Leaf Esports has one turret advantage, so that's a disadvantage for the side team Zohunt because they are leading in terms of kills, so the goal is equal, and the map advantage in the hands of Leaf Esports.
Yeah, the map advantage is still definitely going to be out there too. And you know, the fact that Xar hasn't been taken down, look at that though. Oh.
And again, that easy kill for him, right? That flicker was too late for the Hayabusa stack to hit perfectly on point. Sar definitely tried to do some damage, just soaking it all up in the middle. While Riza tries to find a more drills, but will miss it out on farming. But they are moving towards the Lord now. Doesn't have the ultimate. They could look for it, but instead I believe that they will be trying to look for more to pick off than the Lord directly, because Dusty can just go in for a backline setup, but then the Hayabusa would be there to finish him off.
You know, the fact that Xar hasn't been that much of a he hasn't been taking that much of a damage coming through from the side of Zohunt has been in favor for them time and again. This is only the sole reason why they're winning out trade, but look at that though.
Again, that's gonna be the flicker I told you about.
Oh,
It's actually landing perfectly, but Riza is gonna see the way to more from 4 people. Insane, and he actually dodges the shuriken from
wow.
Fade. So, I do not know why he was not playing Lancelot before this. Alice manages to escape, and he doesn't manage to escape, I'm sorry. But Mintley is gonna be taken down by the Esmeralda once again, but Esmeralda is out of mana now, so he needs to play it safe. He can't really region as much as he would want to. Alice is gonna get taken down. The Skypius will stack up a bit for Brazilian, but the bot shadow kill is gonna land perfectly onto him. He doesn't miss any more shadows, and it's gonna be a kill for Blade all over again. He has the stats, but they are lacking the numbers to defend this Lord. It's going to out right in. He tries to get an out of 2 people, and again, instead of a mega kill for Blade. That's 40 stacks for him. So technically, Zohunt has managed to defend this Lord.
I think it's definitely okay that they are still able to find so much out there, even if they lost out the lore with the retribution. Riza has been buying so much time for the team because of the way he was able to get out those objective lures and turtles, and this is actually helping them stay into the team, stay into this game as long as possible. And the fact that he already is starting to hard a lot also is going to be in favor for them too. But the thing is, Hayabusa here, Blade, this one of the time, whenever he lands this court setter, it's definitely going to be a sure kill for him. 47 stack is big enough for Hayabusa, but mid lane though, Riza.
Oh, he dodges the tech
Wow.
so well. Wow, the insane timing, and Indu is gonna get taken down once again. The team Zohunt are losing a bit of that early advantage that they had, and I think it's solely because of just Sar being so omnipresent with that as well.
Yeah.
Find a way to shut her down, because technically she's just soaking every single ounce of damage, and I think that Eric is gonna need the Wishing Lantern no matter what this time.
A Divine Glaive is gonna be not enough. I think it's more item necessary for this for his side too. But I kind of like the fact that mid lane is trying to focus more onto the Genius one, because of course into the later part of the game, this is already almost the late part of the game. It's gonna be very prior here against the Esmeralda or whoever tankiness he have onto the other side. That is, must be unseen from unseen as well. But looking at the position of Blade, and they might want to find a pick off here. Can they though?
Yeah, they need to pick up on the Clovarian now. Blade is gonna get the quad shadow heal, but Clovarian, can you? IPS is such a scam item in situations like this. Minty is gonna find unseen, but the jungler has been taken down. Prime is getting all the shield he could want in the world. That's a double knock. From the Grok, and is trying to look for a setup. But the damage from Clovarian needs to find that anti-Perez of the brute force for himself if they want to contest this. But with Hayabusa down, they've got 15 seconds on the clock to take this Lord. Are they gonna rush it? Is the question, because Zohunt isn't gonna let them take it so easy. They are going to charge down, especially Dusty and Lulu. They will definitely find their way. Halfway to Blade is still a bit far away. Dusty is very low. Rushing to the back here. They also read that secured by Riza. Is low though, and Prime decides to back out because he realizes that he cannot really kill the Esmeralda there, and he needs to back out. But bye Prime. Lord try to hit onto the three
Okay.
people at the back side, but the damage doesn't really lock in. So Blade, he will finally, possibly be taken down. Bavarian, tech charge just to dodge, flicker away. Man, execution will miss just by just a bit. Three people with no proper wave clear and an enhanced Lord charging down. What can Zohunt do here?
Yeah, there's no possible way that they will be trying to wait for this right now. But a good John, but a lot of damage coming through. Midley, I think they are able to zone it away. But this Lord is not that much of a high HP Lord, so I think they can definitely take care of it if they give out a good of given time. Dusty sustaining quite a lot, so he will not be getting any kills just yet, right? But they are still able to defend, so that is a good one too. But Sarah, Riza's been so consistent onto the left side. I can't believe he did not pick up this earlier. Eh?
Oh no, Asimizo, he gets the divine judgment onto him, but he still sustains it and flickers away from the
What?
danger. But Time's gonna find Unseen though, and he's still going in a little bit more. He still has damage. Feather airstrike and anti-heal effect from the feather going on is definitely gonna be
Hey.
quite a bit. Prime does have the command force, but is he gonna use it? He's gonna have it until like 3 seconds. Yeah, that's it. It's back. Push out a kill. It works out. Tari's gonna get taken down. That's Asimizo. He's definitely frontlining all over again.
Oh man, this is a battle of XP laners here, as we can see. So for the battle of sustains coming through, whoever have a go longer sustain will be able to survive and help the team to the team fight. And I think the fact that Wishing Lantern has already been built up the way by Prime is kind of helping them to take Sar down as well. They might want to focus onto the mid lane here.
Yep, we're gonna see the fight break out, and
Oh,
the mid side we will be seeing Blade. Yeah, and yeah, that's gonna be Crovarian and Blade. Definitely just try and find kills. That's gonna be 2-4-2 so far. With the teams are trying to mark down C. Crovarian is gonna try to back up Steve, trying to sustain it all. The divine judgment and the Sky Coach is that enough.
okay.
Enough for Crovarian to secure that kill.
Finally a kill onto the tanky frontliner for the side of Zohunt here. I think this should be a possible end if they are able to play this out. But Minley, this is so nasty of a first. Buying them a lot of time to survive here, so they'll be able to play it out. A little bit of a time from Elu to come through here again if he's out there. Even Hayabusa is gonna be out in no time. But look at that! What? Unseen?
Unseen, the mistakes you make. Oh my god, and now she is gonna be taken down as well. They were so close to clearing this base,
Yeah.
but now the load is up and they've
Uh.
lost 2 core members. The only thing Zohan needs to do here is ask Blade to put that retribution, use it perfectly on time so Riza doesn't steal it away. But
Yep.
what can they do other than that? They just have to take the Lord. Sarah is gonna zone people, obviously, but Blade, he just needs the retribution, and all they have to do for that is zone Riza with. Oh no, the base.
They wanna go back? Let's go back!
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay.
Oh jeez. What?
Alright, they are able to fight it! Oh my goodness, that was a good set. Oh man, a good defense from Ilua. That was a good wall that he have created, joining away. But yeah, it's still a good one for the side of Leaf here because Riza still survive. But Blade though, he's got to be careful. Divine Judgment can come in.
Oh my god, insane. Blade, one retribution.
Blade?
One retribution.
Blade? Oh.
Riza's gonna get it, and he's gonna get taken down in fact, and she will be finding that kill, and now they can just charge down mid with 2 people away. But that's the best course of action. The base is literally at 1 HP. It's just gonna take like 2 basic attacks from the Granger.
I don't know, man. Blade, he's never been good under retribution, man. But hey, we gotta give him some slack because it's Riza. Let's just say he's got a 100% retribution rate in this game so far, especially when it is needed. Now, Evolve Lord coming in, they do have a good clearance from the side of Zohan here, but one ult from Unseen is gonna be all it takes for them to burst them Prime and Prime without the immortality. Can they do it?
They're just trying to zone away the Lord as far as oh no, the method airstrike. Oh damn the damage. But he's gonna flicker out. Still not able to push in somehow. The Lord
What?
gets come down.
Oh.
He's taken down. Sar is the only one with full HP right now. She is also getting targeted so much. But Dusty Mizo, holy, he's stopping him in as much as possible. Bavarian takes down Ilu. Watch out to kill, definitely gonna lock in. And Zohunt, did they really manage to pull off another defense against a 20-minute Lord?
How are they able to defend that with so much boost coming through? I mean, I'm pretty sure that is gonna it's something to do with the lack of dive coming through from the side of Leaf, but it could have been a possible end because it was a very evolved lore, by the way. But the clearance coming through from the side of Johan is definitely gonna be in favor for them because they had the Grok to drag away and have a retaining wall against the base and the lore too, but that was well defense coming through. It could have been better if Korean was able to focus onto the base, but he was actually so far behind because if he go near it, the rains coming through from the allies or even the smart force is definitely gonna be taking him down, and you don't want to die in this late in the game. But Sardo is getting engaged upon. I don't think that's a very good engaged Dusty, but yeah, the team will be back on time. No Tron of Ruin whatsoever to come through, but still Johan, they need to defend out just a little bit, stay into the team fight, and when the next slot is up, they should contest it or it should be an end.
Exactly. The next slot is gonna be the make it or break it, and especially the minion pressure that's gonna come in from all the lanes, and they need to keep one person at the base all the time.
Yeah.
You just need one retribution for your team. If you can go in for it, it will be a big deal. But right now they're trying to just mark down the
Oh wait, what?
Oh no, but this could mean, well, two things. Yep, Breeza's gonna start a lot. She's gonna get targeted down quite a lot. Tech down.
Hey!
Okay. Okay.
Hello.
But watch out, okay. Onto the backside. Crazy things from the side of Zohan, but with one member down, they should be able to find them in tier 1. Finally, it was the main frontliner from the side of Esports. It's kind of gone.
Oh man, the amount of blunders that we can see from Johan is just too much most of the time. Hey, well, it's a funny banter that you usually see, but now that another Evolve Floor is coming through, 23 minutes by the way, no Star is yet to come through here yet again. What pick off on Blade is gonna be needed here, but oh my goodness, he's been taking a lot of damage from Clavarian. But the thing is, for Johan, they need to have a good stun on Clavarian, but they also need to have the control of this base. But oh, look at that mid lane.
Yep, look at that indeed. Oh no, Blade is gonna be taken out very low by Riza. Riza still has the punches to go in for Blade, and he's actually going in for it. Hayabusa! Oh, so damn
Okay,
cool.
Blade.
No way, Blade just died. That's gonna be a chaos ruin onto Natalia, and the Lord is gonna be charging it down. But that's
nice.
He's gonna finally from Elo. The feather airstrike is gonna do quite a lot of damage, but the base is so low and the minions are too strong for the side of Team Zohunt to handle. And finally, a 1 and 2 and 1 point in favor of Leaf Esports will be going to game 4.
Oh man, this is so classic Ekmezu from this team that we can see so far. Amazingly well done, Leave. I think it could have been a fumble because Clavarian has been taken down to the early stage of the game most of the time, and then he was 5 deaths down, and then he came back and he got stacks into the sky pitch up until the 50, and I think that was the reason why they were kind of losing on. But Star, amazing sustain that he can see onto the Esmeralda. He wasn't taken down, and they needed for John. They needed like 4 resources for just one person, and when the resources was already down, it's gonna be obviously a good re-engagement coming to for their side. But we gotta have a huge respect on Riza onto the retribution though. Amazing, 100% onto the game, and I think that's the sole reason why they were able to end out the game very easily.
Exactly, not very easily, of course, but I
yeah,
think
a bit, yeah.
And I think his performance was like 5 times better of what it was in the previous 2 games. And it's despite Blade and Prime having so much of lead in the early game, it kind of felt possibly up next and give Mintley the Jushin for himself. But Leaf Esports will be the one to ban the Jushin up next. That's
Yeah.
gonna leave the graph open for Ilu.
I think this was a red side grog, right? You know, this dude plays the grog even in his sleep, so I don't know what happened to that ultimate. I hope it's not a repeated tech charts that we're gonna be seeing. But the thing is, this time around, okay, sorry, very well predicted. They only changed up onto the Lancelot. See, I think they already catch up to the where the opponent is gonna be for Leaf. But even Leaf also caught up on what they can ban away. I think Fanny is a no-go. Hayabusa is so much easier to handle than the Fanny here at this point, because of course not very good under the retribution as well. So these either have to be a Grok or a Jushin. Personally, I would ban out the Jushin. I cannot handle the Jushin, man. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's a very obvious kind of
Yeah. Oh,
what's it
Hilda.
called again?
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Dude's had enough, man.
it's added now. It's just like I am not going to let you pick your hero again. It's mine this
Nah.
time. I will deny you that Leomon. You go for your Fredrin, I don't care. But I'm gonna deny you the Lancelot and the Leomon. But he could also go in for the Yisunshin this time, Riza. That
Yeah.
could also work out. Unseen can pick up the Grok if he wants to.
Mhm.
She could go in for the Eve, and they could also go in for what's it called? The Claude onto the gold wings.
Granger has been highly contested rather than the Claw, right? Oh, there we go. It's gonna be the Fredin. Okay, they don't care. They just want a Fredin and a Grok, maybe? Yeah, there we go. Grok is much more prio here. So now the question arises again. Do we want a Hilda against a Grok, or do you want a Khalid for Ilu? I'm pretty much gonna be liking the Khalid rather than the Hilda. And then again, they kind of have to prioritize onto Midley's hero. Oh, wait, no, it's not needed. They can prioritize onto Prime's hero here. So does he want the Granger? Oh wow. Okay, there we go. It's gonna be the Hilda and Yuzhong. Okay.
Okay, fine. Good choices. You could just zone out she and Covarian both with the Yuzhong. Good decision making. Hilda is for the early game poke and late game markdown onto the MM and everybody. But end of the day, they do need some late game secure. Maybe Prime could go in for the Harith or the Granger for himself again. But the carry and the Claude are still choices left open for him. Onto the hands of Leafy Esports, though, do they deny the Farsa or the Eve, or do they deny the Claude or Danger is going to be the question.
The thing is that here, if they play the Granger, the Farsa or the Eve can come through and the Harriet, right? Because we can see that, okay, they can bend the Harriet and the Claude here. You know, the thing about the mates is that they can let go, actually. They can counter pick it so that they can let it go, so that's gonna be a solid choice of ban. And now, okay, this is gonna be a same choice of pick. Lunox taken away. She was amazing under the Lunox too. This can be a Claude ban if they don't want another problem. Or a Farsa, because of the Granger. But then again, I feel like they can handle the Farsa against the Grow because it can be cancelled out quite easily.
Exactly, so
What?
the Farsa should be a ban here, but yeah, it's the Harith and the
Oh,
Claude.
okay. That's
Well
fine, that's fine.
predicted right there. And it's gonna be a Kimi
Gimme.
ban all over again. Yeah, Kimi and Lunox are gonna be in the standard for the side of Zohunt. Now she can easily lock in the Eve Rock combo along with the Ranger. I think that's gonna be pretty deadly for them there. So the draft this time around, the draft is favoring Team Leaf Esports for now. But the last two picks from the side of Zohunt are gonna define a lot as to how they
Yeah.
decide to counter. The Farsa could also be a choice here, but against the Dragon, I don't think it's that valid. So technically, the Eve is the best choice.
Eve, if they can pick out the Eve here. You know, the thing is, John's putting the decisions into the hands of. Wow. Okay,
Oh,
Sar.
okay,
I was
okay.
was kind of Okay, there we go. But then it's gonna be a losing lane, right, against the Yuzhong. But
Nah,
you
our
can
luck
definitely
wins.
do a losing lane. Yeah.
Yep, our luck
Okay, there we
wins.
go. It is gonna be a better one at that too. Prime, he's gonna be choked down because there's not much of a hero type that I can go to. Is Cedar, I would love it because it's kind of used against the Granger in today's scenarios. But then again, mainly have a greater option here. But I would like if he can go for the G10, but then again, will they lick the damage? Yeah, there we go. It's gonna be weave better because they're gonna be licking at the damage with the G10 here. So it's gonna be into the hands of Prime Man. He's gonna be the source of the damage. What does he want here?
Nothing
No.
can stand with
Okay. CC?
against the endless
See,
erosion.
oh, what?
What? What? Uh,
Through weaker
okay.
Oh,
These
okay.
guys are trolling.
I think it's Alice EXP and Jean Gold. That's a better the
Hmm.
trajectory to look at
Yeah.
this because you do not want an Alice in the gold lane. Oh my god. But the Eve is a good pick. Eve is definitely
Yeah.
very good against the Fredrin and it's
No.
also a deny. What is she gonna pick here? The Farsa? Farsa will get highly countered by the Leo and the Zhong Zacian. Uh,
No.
not a big
Wait,
fan
wait.
of
What
that.
do you think about the Novaria though?
Wait, what? I
What do
mean,
you think about the Novaria?
Novaya
Greater
could
Novaria?
work out. It could work out, but his Cyclops.
Oh,
Oh
I
my
mean,
god.
there
I
we
mean,
go.
okay, fine. Let's see how that one works out.
Late game, right? Late game is what they want to bank on. When you have enough frontliners like that, what you want to have a magic damage into the mid side that is strong also. Unlike Johan, this is such a classic Johan, man. The draft is like very unpredictable sometimes, and you don't know what's gonna be into the hands of who. And we have thought that the Yuzon could have been better into the gold lane side rather than the Alice, but then the Alice is gonna be into the gold lane this time around. So they are highly dependent on the damage from the Leomord as well as the Eve that can come through into the early stages of the game. But the fact that the Leomord is gonna be needing that early turtle for the snowball to come through is definitely going to be hurting them quite a lot. And this is a lineup without a plan B. For the side of Leave, though, they are highly going to be focusing onto the late game because they have a Granger and a Cyclops altogether. Of course, they do have the damage and the sustain too. But for Johan, they need that early game. They need the snowball, or I don't think they can make it to the late games.
Exactly. So far so good. Both the drafts are like a very classic comfort drafts. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will be stepping right into the Land of Dawn, the very high stakes game. This time,
Okay, again.
unseen. Oh my! This is probably like the fourth fail. I'm just so sorry about that, but holy, it's funny to watch. But okay, you get it right. The fifth time's the charm, unseen. All the best.
Yep.
For now, Dusty Mizo and Yulu are gonna go in for
Wow.
a fast cut on the lane, which means that there's gonna be an instant invade. Not the best of situations to be in for Riza since he's a Fredrin. He's gonna lose out on a lot of farm. He
Oh
should have.
man.
Wait, where is his blue?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
What? Blade! Ah, you nasty, disgusting dude. He stole the blue when
Oh
Ele was
my
busy
god.
bullying Rita. Oh no, this is what the early start of the game where we were looking for, right? We were talking about this. Ah, man, Johan, that's a. What is this move?
It's a 5Q tactics which these days people are using in solo queue as well. Personally being a victim of it and also the hunter and victim of the same
Hunter of it? Oh, okay.
Don't worry guys.
You have abused these, right?
Yeah, but you can just recover from it because you have a Cyclops and Granger onto your team. All you need to do is get that fed. Prime here definitely gonna be taking his fair share of damage though from both Claverian and Unseen. But Riza here is definitely on the back foot after losing that buff. He's not gonna be level 4 at the turtle unless he can get some of that small farm, which he isn't gonna get either. And if you look at Blade, he hasn't even taken his red yet.
He's just.
Oh no, he hasn't.
He has. He hasn't. Okay, so that I think he is trying to get to the level 4 even before Visa, or level 5 even before Visa is. But top lane, Dusty. Oh wait,
Oh my god, what? Dusty
he
is
survived.
what version of Dusty is this, Debbie?
Oh man, I haven't. Oh, what is this? Oh goodness me, that was amazing, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
do
was
it.
such a beautiful play. Holy, that's like a three-man petrify and then sustaining from that point on. Insane. Hey, but Blade really didn't take his red or what? I can still see it on the map though, and he doesn't even
Yeah,
have it.
he didn't.
Oh
He's
my
just farming
god.
on Riza's lane. This is
Jesus.
such a oh man, this is abuse.
Disgusting strategy, I would say.
Oh, this is oh man. I don't think the lineup. They are focusing so much onto this Ilu though. I hope he dies, man.
I really hope he does because I mean, yeah, they've got the Cyclops into their hands.
What?
They've got a Grok. Nah, man. No, man. Okay, and
This is
Prime gets a beautiful setup. She has to flicker out. Frederick is gonna get taken out. Blade is still dealing quite an amount of damage out of the three people. Definitely not a good amount of damage there. The double kill for Minty
Melee.
instantaneously. And Team Zohunt this time. Oh no, warning shots from Inlu. But Cloverian did cancel the shot and he's gotta walk right next to the wall.
Oh no.
So scared of it right now. He's just scared out of his wits to even go out of that range, I believe.
Oh man, if the Grok should be the one who can stop these kind of plays, but he hasn't been able to do it. Oh, never mind. Look at that. Oh,
Yep,
melee.
indeed it has been.
Finally.
Yep, finally a kill onto Mentally, which is a very good thing. And I think she's the one who got it. Yep, that's him. Prime here, just cutting off the lane, so very rotate. He's gonna take the crab, though I feel it. That should be an easy crab. Prime to just escape with his first kill. It is then back down to Riza, definitely chunking down Riza every single time he tries to blow me above a small creep. Riza's wrath is not really gonna do anything except just tickle Prime a bit. Cloverian is done force pushed back to the second turret, which is very bad as a grinder. Ilu is getting forced down quite a bit. Prime will be low here thanks to Sar, but the chaos rate is going to be people trying to the backup though. He does and yeah, that's gonna be a kill for Dusty.
He got solo killed by Ilu too, so not the best case scenario for SR Club to come through because he hasn't even gotten out the talisman, so the cooldown is not gonna be that insane onto the ultimate too. I feel really bad, but Riza right now finally trying to do something, but the blue bulb is not there, and Blade man, that's a nasty combination, but Melee flicker forced away, so that was a good one, and a good RWM as well. Just a level 5 to a level 8 jungle onto the other side, look at that.
Yep, and as far as we can see, Cloverian definitely gonna be turned down very, very low by both blood.
Oh! Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Ilu and Unseen are just long-lost brothers at this point. Just
wow.
brother sub bro. They are just chilling at this point. Sar is gonna get taken out by Minfleet. That's gonna be a flicker being wasted though, but it's fine since they are dominating at the moment. She picked up on the Enchanted Talisman, which means it's gonna hurt more. Minfleet definitely enjoying this game of lead right here because this is such a lead game. Both sides here are needed, but nah, they just wanted the Cyclops on this, and that's gonna be an easy kill for Blade hopefully, but now that's gonna be Flicker coming in on the night, RWM to lock in a graph fight. Now Sarah's gonna be selling trying to hide from on the backside of the line. No, he's not gonna find it, but they're just gonna back up turrets instead. That's Denise though. Oh no. Bye bye.
Oh, really? That's a sayonara, right? 20 face. Every boost is unsafe. Beast for us, man, because they have been living into the lane, into the jungle, and every time we are trying to do something that really can't happen again. The dragon, though, look at that.
Yeah, the dragon is gonna go in again, and Chaos Ruin onto Riza, and he's gonna get taken down by Blade. And right now she is running forward, and he's trying to escape, but no Prime is gonna take Ilu is gonna get taken down. That's the turret damage working in Cyclops' favor. Like, had Cloverian's basic attack reached, that would have still been a stab of the Sky Piercer for him. The final slash just to clear out the minions for the Ranger to stack up. But Prime is actually dealing quite some lot of damage as a Blade, and that is a mighty commendable for him since we haven't usually seen him play that hero into the tournaments.
Yeah, it's kind of his ring kind of hero. Whenever the tournament, they don't have that kind of league game that we're talking about. Like no faces of any marksman, but they are banking on the early game that they have right there, and they are doing it because they have the snowball, they have the damage done, and I don't think anyone have a good damage onto the side of Leaf as well, because 2k goal is not the best goal for Rita. It's already 7 minutes of the game and Blade is so ahead. He's just finally got a 3k onto this goal, and then Blade is already 3 experience levels up onto his here into his side. And Riza, man, could have been much better if he had the lens not so Zohan bet it away, but look at that Claverian. Oh, they already bursted out the holy blessing again.
Yep, that's gonna be an 8-minute holy blessing indeed. Again, the final slashers will be missed this time. SARS our Lord is not being so influencing on the map's team. And Zohan have just found their way into this game. They are on a 12-3, a complete repetition of the first game, but just doing it better, I believe, in a different draft altogether. So technically, the only way they come back from this team Esports is if they get She the time to scale up, Lantern and blowing one and everything, and if SAR lands a proper final slot for the first time in this game, and if Claverian gets this tax onto his Skypiea. But that is something which is going to be very difficult to see. So we will have to watch out as to what happens in this game.
That's what we are waiting for. Yeah, they are rushed in quite a lot, and it's gonna be up in less than 20 seconds here. Riza not even given his blue buff here. That's gonna be a ton flicker. Oh,
She on to Destiny is finally gonna get taken down. The RWM and the combination of the win. Illu's gonna find a flicker to She as the takedown Sara as well out of here at the blue buff. Riza will be forced to back off. Caverian is going to realize the damage as possible can, but it's not gonna be worth anything. The river is there to just hide them, to just keep them in their places. And Caverian, all he can do right now is try and stack up as much as possible.
they're waiting for that, and they did not take the deaths of their XP laner that well because they traded out with 3 of the kills, and of course She is 4 deaths down. He got soloed everywhere, but he's still able to have the gold here even though they are so far behind, because that is actually an 8k gold lead here right now. And Gates though, Lord taken away, they should back away.
That's better be enough. And now we should be seeing Black Dragon trying to mark down She as well as Claverian. It's gonna get better.
What?
Yeah, that should be okay. That it is okay.
Man.
After all, the damage from the Dusty Mizo is actually pretty good right now, and he is doing a fantastic job of zoning people away. These people have all used up their spells, so by the time the Lord comes up, they won't really have the sources engaged as much as now.
I think there's the big oh man, that's gonna be another waste. Fantastic enough to take Zar down. Tech charge will kind of miss it out, but back we go. That's gonna be a flicker away. The Lord's gonna be merging into the bottom lane side here. They're still having the holy blessing, but they can cancel it out quite easily with the minions that they have right now, mid and top, because the bot one was already gone. So Johan, they kind of waited for the Lord to merge so that they will be able to go for the full on aggression, because they have a lot of dive here. They had Phantom Steep, they have the Throne of Ruin as well. But looking at the build so far, I think the Hunter Strike was enough to take Claverian down, so I'm pretty worried for this dude if he's still able to survive all of this pretty much combination again. This Knight's to Riza, though he's very squishy.
Exactly, so Blade is gonna find the kill. Unstoppable onto Riza right away. The side business is working, and Dusty Mizo definitely just circling the sky around, and he can go in if he wants to. He's gonna miss out.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it happens to the best of the people, and it happened to Dusty Mizo this time. And Zohunt, will they have to just back off and clear out the lanes of the position with the inhibitors? I think She finally has some damage this time.
Yeah.
But Eve is dealing much more damage than they want them to see. And yeah, that RWM and the combo from the Alice at the same time. That's gonna be an instant 4-man getting taken down. Again, it's just She left alive. This is like what, the 3rd or 4th time we are seeing She being left to just defend everything against 4 people on his wall. He just wanted to go in on the turret and
Oh, okay.
Okay, fine. Alright, no worries. but it was gonna find the kill for you. That's the synergy of Zohunt. They're being finish it off.
That was amazingly well done, but this time around this could be a possible end, but a lot of low HP is going to be true for the side of Zohunt. They have to back away. The wall is going to be set in, stopping out the minions to come through. And yeah, they have still one more chance to survive, but yeah, we need to focus on the build of She right now. He's got the concussive, he's got the concentrated Nazi as well as the anti-heal, the glowing one, but he's kind of needing the Xenius one as well as the Holy Crystal if he's gonna be the main damage source here. You know, someone once said that a Neve Void Blast dealt much more damage than the RWM, and now I kind of believe it. I kind
Yeah,
of believing
yeah.
it.
The lightning is just one of
Yeah.
those criteria, so it works out. I mean, wow, I guess.
You know, this is Minlei's build, okay? I have never seen this kind of build on Youth on unless except for him. Because people usually go for the glowing one and then they usually go for the wings, the blood wings, or either the blood wings or the whistling lantern. But this dude said, nah, I wanna have a rebellion for myself. I wanna have the damage all onto my hands. I want that lightning transient and go for the damages, and I think the damage is perfectly well done here because we can see that he was able to poke them quite a lot. Even with the penetration that he have on the divine glaive is definitely gonna be enough for their side too. So Lord already taken. The mid lane is what they wanna focus on. It's still not an evolve lord, but every inhibitor has been opened up by the side of Johan here. They got to sing in. They have a lot of dive. Dusty cannot die now because if they die, if he dies, they won't be able to end it.
Yep, that's what. And right now the Lord is gonna be charging down again. No inhibitors this time to defend anything. The wall is gonna come in, but Blade is straight away gonna go.
Oh wow!
Yes, and he will find the kill along with Alice on the RWM. Oh no, Riza is trying to mark down the Blade so hard, but he's just gonna find the kill. Only one kill onto Nicky this time. The wave is far open than we wanted it to, and that's gonna be an end. And Zohunt will be the champions.
You have your champions, ladies and gentlemen. This is gonna be the Winter Showdown Series 1 champion. Johan, by the way, with Blade as the MVP. There was a good abuse of a draft and a good assault onto the side of Leaf Esports. That we did have a scoring of a 4-1, 3-1. So there was a good response coming through from the side of Leaf. It wasn't a clean sweep, by the way. So amazingly well done for the side of Team Zone. I hope they stay this well in there because there was a weird kind of combination that we have witnessed, and I'm all in for it. Finally, a drama into the end of the game.
Yep, that's gonna be it, ladies and gentlemen. Zohunt are your champions of the Winter Showdown, hosted by SG Esports, and we will be ending the stream here. Thank you for staying with us so long. This was me, Sarah, alongside Debbie, and I hope you were able to enjoy the games that we put forward. But that's gonna be it for this time. We will see you soon once we see you again in the next tournament. But for tonight, have a good night, ladies and gentlemen, and see you next time.
Lives were not meaningless, their voices still remain. Memory gives with name and purpose to the way we remember. So we can continue that alone is strength. So we continue.
Hold your ground. Keep your name. Let conviction stay the same. Not to conquer, not to dominate, but to exist without regret. Everything we think matters, dreams, moments, quiet happiness feels fragile when the world reminds us how small we are. Their lives were not meaningless, their voices still remain. Memory gives with living and purpose to the way we remember. So we will continue that alone is strength. we continue. Their lives were not meaningless, their voices still remain. Memory gives witness and purpose to the way we remember. So we continue, that alone is strength. So we continue. Hold your ground. Keep your name, let conviction stay the same. Not to conquer, not to dominate, but to exist without regret. Everything we think matters, dreams, quiet happiness feels fragile when the world reminds us how small we are. Their lives were not meaningless, their voices still remain. Memory gives witness and purpose to the way we remember. So we continue, that alone is strength. So we continue.